So the DA's plan to rewrite BEE laws has lit up governments, and it could redefine what transformation looks like in South Africa. Today we're unpacking this fight over the future of transformation, while the state's glitchy IT systems might finally get the boot, and what you need to know about the JSE's next big listing. Plus, in the Wildcard, the story behind how KwaZulu-Natal got its name. My friends, if you are enjoying the show, be sure to like and subscribe. And now, with all that out the way, let's get into it. The DA has unveiled a new plan to scrap black economic empowerment as we know it, and it's already shaking up the government of national unity. So it's called the Economic Inclusion for All Bill, and it flips empowerment on its head. So instead of using race as the measure of redress, it links empowerment to poverty, rewarding companies that can prove they're creating jobs, training workers, or building sustainable businesses. The bill would essentially overhaul how government awards tenders. So government currently gives preferences to companies with black ownership or management. And under the DA's proposal, that weighting disappears. Tenders would now go to whoever offers the best mix of price, performance, and delivery, with a small bonus for social impact projects like skills programs, small business support, or environmental work. And any firms with a record of corruption would be immediately disqualified. Now, the DA says that this is long overdue, arguing that BEE has enriched a small politically connected elite while leaving 44 million South Africans in poverty. They point to scandals at Transnet, Eskom, and Optasia Hospital as proof that empowerment has just become a front for looting. Now, critics, especially within the ANC, says that the bill ignores apartheid's legacy and strips away the tools meant to fix it. But the DA insists that empowerment should be needs-based, not color-coded. Now, this proposal almost guarantees a showdown in Parliament and possibly inside the GNU itself over whether transformation in South Africa should be defined by race or by results. As for you, though, what do you think? So, if you've ever stood in a police station or a Home Affairs queue and heard the words, "the system's down," there is one name behind that frustration. SETA, the state-owned IT agency that keeps government's tech ticking. More accurately, not ticking. Now, the police have officially cut ties. The finance minister has approved SAPS's request to ditch SETA altogether, freeing it from what insiders call years of digital bottlenecks and ancient systems. It makes the police the first department to fully break away after months of talk about giving government departments the freedom to choose their own IT providers. And SETA's year has been rough. It hit less than half of its performance targets, faces corruption probes, and still can't fill half of its vacancies. But the agency says that it's being turned into a scapegoat, arguing that departments themselves control the outdated systems and the budgets that they're blaming SETA for. So Home Affairs is still waiting for its own exemption, and several other departments from justice to digital technologies are pushing for the same. And when it comes, we'll finally see who was right, the clients or the contractor. So after a year of being dominated by delistings, the JSE is finally getting a new heavyweight, and it's arriving from Dubai. Fintech giant Optasia is preparing for one of the largest listings on the local exchange in years, aiming for a valuation of up to 26 billion rand, bigger than Pick n Pay or We Buy Cars. Now, the company plans to raise around 8 billion rand, with 1.3 billion rand in new shares to fund growth, and the rest coming from existing investors. Now, Optasia isn't your typical tech firm. It uses AI to help mobile users in emerging markets access tiny short-term loans and airtime credits, the kind of microfinance that reaches 120 million people a month through partners like Vodacom, MTN, and Standard Bank. So while listed in South Africa, the group says that the JSE gives it access to local capital and proximity to its fastest growing markets, with South Africa already making up 10 to 15% of its revenue. And with the exchange already battling an outflow of companies, Optasia's arrival is a rare but welcome boost in the JSE's future. And before we cruise on to our Bagel Bite of the day, here's a couple other headlines worth knowing. For starters, the government is launching a physical roll call of over 1 million public servants to root out ghost workers, as in staff who earn salaries but don't actually exist. Departments must verify every employee at their desk by February and report their findings. Scooter's Pizza is back. Nearly a decade after disappearing, the fast food chain returns with its 39-minute delivery promise under new ownership, starting with a single relaunch store in Melville, Johannesburg. And the review for South Africa's flagship car manufacturing policy has stalled. No one has been appointed to lead the process, delaying reforms meant to fix lost jobs, falling production, and a flood of imported vehicles. And on to our Bagel Bite of the day. Let's see what you got. The question is, what is the most consumed fish in the world? Is it A, tuna, B, herring, or C, salmon? We'll give you the answer at the end of the show. And on to our wildcard section. KwaZulu-Natal's name tells two stories, one ancient, one modern. So the word Natal dates back to 1497 when Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama sailed past the coast on Christmas Day and named it Terra do Natal, or the land of Christmas. Then centuries later, the colonial name just stuck, even as the region became home to one of Africa's most powerful kingdoms. The KwaZulu part came from the kingdom itself, literally meaning place of the Zulu. Now, under King Shaka, the Zulu nation unified dozens of clans in the early 1800s, building a military system so effective that it reshaped Southern African politics. Even the British Empire struggled to contain it, and the 1879 Anglo-Zulu War remains one of its most noted defeats. And so after apartheid, the two names finally joined, KwaZulu-Natal, a symbolic merger between the Zulu homeland and the oldest colonial province. It's the only South African province whose name still carries both its indigenous and imperial past, one word rooted in conquest, the other in Christmas. And as for that bagel bite, the answer is the herring, the humble silvery fish that quietly feeds billions. From Europe's pickle jars to Asia's dry exports, it's become the backbone of coastal diets for centuries. It's a simple fish with an outsized footprint and one that still anchors food security across continents today. And my friends, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first time watching the show, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss the stories that matter. Hope you guys all have a great day. Be kind to one another, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for the next round of the good stuff. God bless.